Hi friends, today we're going to talk about set design and specifically the role of a set designer and how you will start to go about creating your own set designs for your show. So all the scenery, furniture, and props the audience sees at a production of a play make up the set design. The set designer's job is to design these physical surroundings in which the action will take place. A theater set should do these things: suggest the style and tone of the whole production, create mood and atmosphere, give clues as to the specific time and place of the action, and offer creative possibilities for the movement and grouping of the actors. The set may also need to be designed so the backstage areas used by the actors in the stage group are kept out of sight from the audience. This will depend on the effect the director wants to create with the staging and on the type of stage the production uses. For example, if designing a show in a proscenium stage would be very different than designing a set that is all in the round, due to the angle in which the audience is viewing the production. While in a proscenium stage, the audience sits on one side, and you are able to create larger scenic pieces that appear behind the actors, where if you were to put that same set in a situation that's arena seating or in the round, half of, or if not more of the audience would be blocked from the actors due to the enormity of the set and an in-the-round seating style. The set designer will normally read the script many times, both to get a feel for the flavor and the spirit of the script and to list its specific requirements for the scenery, furnishing, and props. The time of day, location, season, historical period, and any set changes called for in the script are noted. For example, a set change might mean going from one location to another, from inside the home to an outside garden, something like that. The set designer's focus here is on figuring out everything that might be needed based on the dialogue in the script. Stage directions tend to be ignored at this point in the process. However, they are read and considered, and then a director and the set designer together choose what to keep and what to ignore. It is important to note that the director meets often with scenic designer as well as other designers together in what's called a production meeting. And a production meeting is led by the stage manager and is a time for all of the artistic team members to get together and to talk about the production, to talk about concept from the director's point of view, design ideas, problems that are coming up in rehearsal, or problems that we have to brainstorm and fix together. Remember, I always say that theater is one big problem with lots of little problems that we have to solve over and over again. Well, the artistic team comes together to try to solve those problems in the most efficient and affordable ways, as still, though, honoring the concept and the script. So, designers have many tools to communicate their ideas to the director and to the other designers, and also producers and actors. One of the things that you will do, and also designers often do, is what's called a rough sketch. A rough sketch is just the set in two-dimensional form in the very preliminary stage. It's where we're still developing ideas, getting some things down on paper. The second thing that you might do, once you kind of come up with a rough sketch and are committed to it with the director and the other designers in mind, you draw what's called a floor plan, or sometimes called a ground plan. That is drawn to scale. And what it means to draw something to scale is mean that you're drawing it exactly how it will appear in real life, but in a tiny way. So instead of it being 20 feet by 40 feet, a scale might be 20 inches by 40 inches, which means that 1 inch equals 1 foot. That's what we call a scale drawing. Now, floor plans that are drawn to scale show from above the general layout of each set and the placement of furniture and large props. And you see in this picture here, where we're seeing an aerial view of the set, you see that there's not complicated drawings of everything. We don't see the details of the items that will be on this set design, but we understand their placement and their relationship as to other items on the stage, and how much playing area an actor may have, or where, as a director, I may be able to block my actors. Another tool that designers use to communicate to the directors and design team are what's called a front elevation, which gives a view of the elements of the set from the front and shows details like windows and platforms. So this is how the audience may view it as they sit in the audience looking at the set. So a front elevation is a two-dimensional drawing of what it looks like to be sitting in the audience viewing that set. Now, you can sometimes do front elevations of just small pieces. For example, I might do a front elevation of a certain painting look that I want to go to for a flat that I have on stage, or it can be the whole set. You guys will be doing the whole set. Also, the last thing, and something that I find particularly helpful as a director to have and be able to see, is what's called a miniature three-dimensional model, showing how each set will look when finished. This is also drawn to scale, so this is exactly the relation of objects on stage as it will appear in real life once it's built, just in miniature form. So what's great about a 3D model is I can manipulate it, I can move things, I can see the texture, I can understand the scale and scope of this show, and I can understand how people will walk around on it and play on it. Unlike, sometimes a floor plan or a two-dimensional rendering will give me, this really helps me to understand depth and texture and space much better. And perhaps that's just the type of person I am, but I know many directors are very visual people and we like to manipulate the model. You will also be expected to create a 3D scale model for your final part of your project in the set design. Set design is an incredibly important part of theater, and collaboration is incredibly important as well. The set designer will often meet with the director and the design team. Just to remind you, that's the set designer, costume designer, lighting designer, and sound designer, and it could be projection designer or other elements that might be used for this play. And the stage manager leads those meetings. They discuss the details of the set and the director's interpretation of the play. The set, costume, and lighting designers also meet and work together to ensure the creation of the unified look and the feel of the production. A lively exchange of initial ideas and first impressions help clarify the steps that each person needs to take in this intensely collaborative process. The initial production meetings are by far for me some of the most fun I have with my design team. I like to surround myself with people that are talented and smart and just have better ideas than I could possibly imagine. It's a really fun time as we're presented with a script which gives us tons of problems to solve, and we do our best to find the most efficient, affordable, and creative ways to solve the problems that still honors my concept as the director and the play itself. Now, once that design is agreed upon by all members of the design team and director, and of course producers who's paying for it, we go to the building stage. A technical director will draw up building plans based on the plans that they get from the designer, and they work with the master carpenter, master painters, or scenic artists, and carpenters and electricians to make it all work. And then they get to work and they build the set, and they paint the set, and set decorators and props people may decorate the set. But so it's a long process that takes a lot of work and a lot of collaboration. But